What's up, guys? NBA Talk. Today's February 24th, 2017. Friday basketball for you. We're finished with the trade deadline, done with and all. Um, we're still feeling the aftermath of it, even though there was a little bit of it. Um, Lots of disappointments. Lots of disappointments. So we're going to talk about five disappointing teams of the trade deadline right now. And then we're gonna do five best best teams that done it. Maybe less because there are barely people who actually did something in the trade deadline. It might be three. Who knows? I'll see what happens. So five losers of the trade deadline in my opinion. It doesn't have to be yours. It's just my opinion. First off, it's not in order. Not in order at all. It's just five. Boston Celtics. They had the biggest opportunity in the trade deadline. They had the best chance. Period. I don't care what nobody says. They had the best opportunity because everybody wanted their draft picks so bad, so badly. Like they had people just drooling to get one of those picks, and they did nothing. They were going after Jimmy Butler, couldn't make a deal. They going after Paul George, couldn't get nothing. Okafor from the Philadelphia 76ers. Nothing. Nothing at all. That's sad, man. That is absolutely sad. Hopefully they could do something at draft night. If they could do something at draft night, okay then. But this is very very disappointing. Danny Ainge, you should have done something. You've done a marvelous job. You have done a marvelous job. It's just that this was a very missed opportunity for your team. Very missed opportunity. You could have gotten Jimmy Butler because you guys were chasing this guy for a long time. You could have gotten Paul George because Indiana was running their mouth, opening for Paul George. Now they pissed off Paul George now, which I will talk to in a sec. Yeah, Boston messed up. This was their best opportunity, and they screwed up. Hopefully, they could do something in draft night. That's pretty much it for them. Next is the Sacramento Kings. We all know what that decision is. The reason why they're one of the worst. The reason why they're in this list of losers. The blockbuster trade, the most blindsided trade of the trade deadline. Boogie Cousins, DeMarcus Cousins, going to the Pelicans in exchange for a few scraps. Buddy Hield, Tyreek Evans, who has busted up knees, um, a pick or two, and Langston Galloway. That's it. That's all. A disrespectful act towards DeMarcus Cousins in itself. You couldn't get no real solid pieces at all. Unless Buddy Hield becomes a good shooter as everybody claims him to be. We'll see. But Sacramento Kings, that front office is just trash. Now here's another trash front office. The next guys, Chicago Bulls. We it is completely confusing whether they're trying to rebuild or build a franchise now for the now because they're trying to figure out whether to trade Jimmy Butler or not. I was just so confused. Like, why would you trade Jimmy Butler right now unless you really want to do a rebuild? They were just going back and forth whether they want to trade him or not. That was the whole story for the Chicago Bulls. And then they pulled a trade with the Oklahoma City Thunder, trading Taj Gibson, a good veteran, good defensive player, good power forward, and Doug McDermott, who has improved as a good shooter. He's improved as a good shooter. They sent him to OKC for Anthony Morrow, Carmen Payne, the backup point guard, and that's guy Joffrey Lavine or Lartine, something like that. Largine, the center, backup center, which they sort of use. Yeah, it's confusing. We don't know what the franchise wants. We don't know what the front office wants. It's just bad decisions, man. From the off season where they got D Wade and Rajon Rondo and Jimmy Butler paired together, it failed miserably. Everybody saw it coming. Everybody saw it coming. And now this. It's just too confusing, man. Next, like I mentioned before, the Indiana Pacers. They were just trying to get someone to pair up with Paul George as a top guy for the team. They were looking to get a first round draft pick high in the draft. Could not do anything. And then you hear rumors of trading Paul George, their franchise player. Their franchise player. I completely lost it in my video talking about like why in the hell would you do that? Why would you do that? And now after this, it seems like they pissed off Paul George because now he's talking about if this team ain't winning, I'm going to LA Lakers. And LA Lakers like, all right, come with us, boy, come with us. Oh man! Not only they couldn't get anything, but now they could have just pretty much lost Paul George. Um, he becomes a free agent next summer. Not this coming summer. Next year in 2018, he will become a free agent if he declines the player option, which he will. He will. He could be gone unless your team is winning, unless they become a contender, which I booked them to be. They should have been a conference finals team facing off the Cavaliers. They're fighting for a playoff spot right now. We don't know if they're gonna make the playoffs because they go on a good stretch and they go on a bad stretch. It's crazy, man. They pissed off their franchise player into doing so, trying to trade him. Either you're trying to get a piece around him, a good franchise piece, or trying to rebuild. Either way, you pissed him off right now. You pissed him off whether he's calm or not. Like he wants to win. And it's either with you or against you. You're gonna end up going up in LA if you don't get things done. And this is a bad move for them. Very, very bad move. And now, the final one, of course, the New York Knicks. My New York Knicks. I have to put them out. It's obvious. Of course, they couldn't trade Carmelo Anthony. The Clippers were very interested in the Knicks. The Celtics were interested in the Knicks, Carmelo Anthony, and a little bit of the Cavaliers because we don't know whether they want him or not. But one thing for sure, the Celtics wanted him. The Clippers wanted him. They couldn't do anything. They could not do anything because he would not waive his clause, which I applaud him doing because there's no way you're going to give Phil Jackson the satisfactory of doing so. But that's not the thing that pissed me off. Derrick Rose and the Timberwolves trade. What happened? I would have pulled the trigger. I would have pulled the trigger and get rid of Derrick Rose, who is going to become a free agent this summer. We're going to lose Derrick Rose because no way, and I know for a fact, hopefully I know for a fact, because there is no way that a team, an organization is going to be that dumb enough to give Derrick Rose a max contract. He wants a max contract. He does not deserve a max contract, people, at all. And if a team, even though I know the Knicks are possibly one of the highest to do so. They, oh, we're in for a horrible ride. We just got our ass kicked by the Cavaliers too. My franchise, man, a disgrace. So here, that's it. Boston Celtics with their draft picks couldn't do anything. Sacramento Kings with the DeMarcus Cousins trade blindsided. Chicago Bulls don't know what they're doing at all. Just don't know whether they're rebuilding or building around certain somebody. Indiana Pacers pissed off Paul George. Now he could be possibly leaving Indiana for good, going to LA. LA is rejoicing right now. Um, and the New York Knicks, a failure of a franchise. So that's it. If you don't want to see all the ramblings, look the description below. Those are my list, basically. Peace.